What's going on, guys? This is episode 21, based in reality. I'm Mike J, of course. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel and like and share the videos. It helps a ton, especially the subscribing. I'd like to get monetized eventually. I would like to once I hit 1,000, I'd like to do a giveaway or something for the people that are subscribed. Just something kind of fun to do. Just because I do appreciate all the people that do watch the videos and subscribe to the channel already. And if I hit 1,000, man, that'd be a pretty big goal for me, and I'd be a happy boy. Anyways, we'll get into it. This week's been pretty good as far as good things happening for the Republican Party, I guess you could say, in the States. There was the new SCOTUS. She's being sworn in or confirmed or whatever it is as we speak, I believe still. She's made a few cool little sound bites and visuals with the notepad and this and that, and the crazy bitch asking her if she's ever raped anybody. Really. On top of that, though, Kyle Rittenhouse is not going to be charged on the weapons that were brought to where he was guarding. Apparently, they were never in Illinois, so they never crossed state lines. Those charges are gone, which is a win, but also we need to get past the other charges as well. So, I mean, I've been telling people don't get too excited yet because they still could railroad this kid. They're dropping the lesser charge right now. And also the self-defense is really looking good, though, because it's been proven that somebody was shooting off shots before he did. And we all knew that, but it was on video now, and a couple detectives saw that. So that's a good thing as well. Joe Biden is completely avoiding like everything he can. Reporters are literally getting mad at asking him about anything. The pact of court is not going to be answered. And apparently he says he doesn't need to answer it. And I mean, the people want to know these kind of things. I mean, the thing is, though, guys, at this point, I don't think there's any more swing voters. I don't think there's voters thinking, oh, maybe I'll vote for Trump. Maybe I'll vote for Biden. There could be, but I'm pretty sure everybody's made up their mind at this point. And if you support not just freedoms, if you support humanity in general, just the simple act of being kind to another human, there's no possible way you could vote for the Democratic Party. They've shown so much lack of human decency in these 4 years. Like, elections past, yeah, they get a little nasty around election season. Grimy, really. But they haven't dehumanized somebody the way they have with Donald Trump. And it's the entire left, including Pelosi, including Schumer. These people are disgusting. They really are. Remember her ripping up his speech when he was honoring those I think it was like Buzz Aldrin and like a couple other like, feel good stories that he kind of ran in that speech. She tore it up like to be cool in front of everybody, and they all had their matching outfits. And remember the impeachment fucking circus that was, handing out her little pens, and like, it's just such petty shit. But on top of that, it's just nobody has compassion anymore for the other side. And it did not start on the right wing. It did not start on the right wing. And I don't care what any of these Vox or Slate or Salon try to tell you. None of this shit started with the right wing. This has all been left-wing bullshit. Trump, yeah, he was a little bit of an oaf. He still is. But he's still not the one saying, make a crowd around people and attack them. Go to their house and chant in the night and attack their family like they did to Tucker Carlson and what they did to Sarah Sanders a couple of years ago at the restaurant with her dad. It's not Trump doing this. And you know why it's not Trump doing that? Because he's just not that much of a piece of shit. As much as these people want to tell you he is, and they've brainwashed a lot of normies to think this, it's been coming out lately with normies that they're not believing this shit anymore. They're seeing the way the left has been acting towards things. This guy gets shot in Denver the other day, and before they even knew anything about it, they were celebrating this man's death. So I think normies are thinking, wow, they would be doing that to me. If somebody on their side attacked me, even if I believe in what they do, they'd be celebrating my death, really? And it's gone so far off the rails of where it could have been if people just had their disagreements, wiped their hands off and said, okay, what are we going to do next election? Instead, they've tried 4 years of getting him out of office in any way they can, smearing him, trying this bullshit impeachment, saying that there was a Russian, the Russian hoax. Like, it just didn't stop. And yeah, I get it. People are mad that Trump didn't get everything done. And even I'm like, man, he did leave a lot of things on the table that didn't get done. But he did have somebody in his way the entire time. And that sucks. Because instead of working together to get things done, they did everything they could to screw him. And I get that Republicans did similar things to Obama. But it was never on a scale like this. Never once. And they'll say, no, this is just right. No, it's not. This is different. The way you're treating him and all of his supporters is disturbing. Like, there's literally people that say, if you support Trump, I don't want to be any friends with you. I don't want to be anything. I have anything to do with you. And you know what? I returned that sentiment when it came to BLM. Because Trump supporters are not the type to just write you off until you have a cause where that can do no wrong, even though it's full of criminals and supports criminals. It's a cause that they don't take consideration of regular Black lives. They only care about the most vile, disgusting piece of shit Black lives that they can. George Floyd was a career criminal, disgusting dirtbag. Held a woman at gunpoint. We know all these stories. Jacob Blake was being investigated for, raping his wife, whatever. Like, these people are awful. And then the blacks that say, I don't support this shit. I don't support these criminals. Why would I? Anybody with common sense doesn't. They get labeled house niggers and coons. Like, are you fucking kidding? These people that think for themselves, this is how you treat them? Like, it just goes to show how easily manipulated certain people are. And I'm not saying blacks, because there's a lot of blacks like Ben Carson, Candace Owens, all these people that think for themselves and they don't deal with this shit. But so many people are easily manipulated into thinking they're victims. This whole white privilege thing, and I know it's been said before. I'm not, breaking any new ground here. But to go in life thinking, well, they're better than me to begin with, So I need exceptions to get the same thing as them. Think about how shitty that is of a mentality to have. Work hard, man. No, that's a white thing, they've said. Being on time is a white thing. Like, just everything that they can think of that's a good personality trait, they try to spin it. And the white liberals are the absolute worst. Like, they support all these causes because they think that blacks don't know any better. People don't realize that. They think, well, they shouldn't be hassling him. I know he was a criminal, but he doesn't know any better, so like he's got to get away with it. Or like he doesn't know any better, so he should get into the college, or he should get that position. Like, do you guys remember when they did that video of the why blacks shouldn't have to or why they don't vote or something? And it was like, well, they don't know where the DMV is to get a license, or they don't know where the voting center is. They don't have internet. This was real. And this was a video that I don't know who did it. It was one of those douchey college conservative things, but it showed a lot of their way of thinking. Because then they went to like Harlem and they were like, hey, do you have ID? Of course I have ID. Why wouldn't I have ID? Do you know where to go to vote? Of course I do. Do you know where the DMV is? Of course I do. Why are you asking these weird questions? And I don't know if they showed the video of like what the whites were saying about them, but saying like, well, they don't know where the DMV is. They don't have internet access. They don't know how to use the internet. And yet they call us the bad guys and the racists because we want to treat them as equals. Like, even this whole, well, black unemployment is through the roof and it's so great. And why are we still separating it? Why isn't it just employment is great? Like, the fact that you're still separating it is playing into their game that we're all different. And I get, yeah, the numbers are good. And like, I heard a commercial yesterday for Joe Biden and it was like, he's trying to, make things seem better than they are and say that they have a good unemployment rate. No, they do. But the fact that they're separate is the weird part. That's the weird part, playing into their game. It should just be an unemployment rate. It should just be a voting block. How many people are voting for him? It shouldn't be, 6% of blacks, 15% of Hispanics, 3% of Asians. Like, just put it all together. And if there's something that I'm missing that is, better about breaking people down into groups and separating them by essentially class, like the British used to do, I mean, let me know. Maybe it's better, but I don't find it better. I think this is stupid on both parts. But the right wing has to play into that. Well, I've done so much for blacks and it's like, what have you done for the people, man? Like, just tell us that. It's disturbing. And I mean, they all the Democrats too, they love guys like Bill Clinton and Joe Biden. I think there's a big influence from just generally, like, it's like the rap community, black community. It's like all these stereotypes that they amplify into black music, because that's essentially what it is. All the stereotypes that, old white guys think of blacks, they put it in the music. Talking about titties and hoes and talking about doing drugs and talking about this and that. And it's like, for example, that 6ix9ine guy, Tekashi 6ix9ine, they hated him but only after he had snitched. They hated him after he had snitched, but they were completely okay with him molesting like a 13-year-old girl on camera. You guys remember that? They were perfectly fine with that. They had no problem with that. But the minute he didn't risk his life for 47 years in jail for some other scumbags, now they hate him. Like, your values are fucked up, man. If you really think this way, if you think, molesting somebody is okay, but, I ain't no snitch. Like, what if they were asking you if the guy was molesting a girl? Would you say no because you don't want to be a snitch? Like, what kind of backwards thinking is this? And that's not even getting into the drugs, because the drugs is stupid. And I mean, this is just a music thing in general, but I've just noticed lately, it's like with the Tekashi thing, especially, is the most shining example to me. They have no problem with that. But once he starts snitching, it's like, that's the problem. And it's like, this is what they look for in candidates and role models. Bill Clinton, it's on the record how many people said that he was a rapist. Alleged, whatever. And Joe Biden, it's on camera how many young girls he's sniffing and grabbing and touching their chest. And they support this. And they've said, I apologize to the accuser, but I have to vote for Biden. Where are all these people saying this shit about Trump? There was a couple of cases that just disappeared because there was no substance to them about Trump being like a rapist or something. But they'll support that rapist as long as he doesn't say bad things about blacks, which he has. So it's like, but they don't talk about that. Like, that is the cardinal sin right now. You can molest girls. Just don't be a snitch. And don't say the N-word. Like, is that really the worst thing? Like, there's been signs at these rallies. Rapists are better than racists. Like, maybe it was a troll sign, but this is exactly how these people feel. It's ridiculous. Such backwards thinking. But anyways, guys, that's about it for today. Like I said, please subscribe to the channel and shoot a like and share my way if you can. Thanks. Have a good day.